What's going on, guys? It's Royalty Crypto here and welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to make a quick video for you guys tonight explaining why I believe the government shutdown ending is a very bullish catalyst for crypto, especially in the short term. And as you guys can see here, members of the US House of Representatives have started to return to Washington, D.C. for a vote to potentially end the government shutdown. So this will be happening tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. And this might take a couple of hours, so if you aren't seeing anything right away, just be patient with it. But guys, we all need to pray tonight that this actually gets done, because I do believe the market is very nervous for this. So expect volatility. And I think that if this ends up being declined and if the government shutdown continues, I would expect a pretty significant dump in crypto and basically all markets. Like, I could see Bitcoin dump into around 96 to 92 if that were the case, but I don't think it will be. The reason for that is the government is starting to feel a lot of pressure with this shutdown. I mean, we don't have government employees being paid, and that's been the case for about 42 days, so you know those people are struggling. Also, the airport situation is absolutely horrendous in the United States right now because the flight control workers are government employees, so a lot of them aren't working, or if they are working, they're doing it voluntarily and not being paid, at least right now. And I'll talk about the back pay situation in just a little bit. So yeah, I think that it is in the best interest of the government to open back up because it's just gone on for way too long at this point. But here's the first reason why I believe that this is going to be bullish for not only crypto but all markets. So the Senate's initial agreement towards ending the longest ever government shutdown yesterday included provisions that would secure back pay for all federal employees. So basically what that means, guys, is all of these federal employees that haven't been working for the past 42 days, some of them were working, of course, but the majority of them weren't, they will all be getting paid for the past 40 days. So it does make sense because, of course, these people didn't choose for this to happen to them, so they do deserve to be paid, in my opinion, because you know how it is, guys. I mean, everybody has bills that they need to pay, and a lot of people do live paycheck to paycheck or very close to it, so not being paid for over a month would definitely cripple a lot of people, and I do believe that that's happened. So this, on top of the quantitative tightening that we're already experiencing, I believe has been holding back markets for the past month and a half. Because if you think about it, guys, there's about 1.5 government employees that are working without pay right now, and another 2 million active duty personnel and National Guard not being paid right now. So that's 3.5 million people that are most likely struggling very much. So if these people are struggling to, pay their bills and buy food and whatnot, the necessities, then you know that they're not going to be investing into the stock market and the crypto market. In fact, it's probably likely that they had to sell some of their crypto and stocks in order to make it for the past 40 odd days. So this was like a bit of a quantitative tightening event on top of what the Fed is already doing. So in my opinion, that is why we've seen so much struggle in the crypto market for the past couple of weeks. So the good thing though, as soon as the government does reopen, we are going to be hit with about 21 billion in missing wages. So this was if the government was shut down through December 1st. So hopefully we won't actually make it that long. So realistically, it'll probably be more like 15 billion in missing wages. But regardless, guys, this is like a mini liquidity injection into markets. And I do believe that this will help the overall economy quite a bit. And hopefully some of this money does flood back into crypto and stocks. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, guys, is we've had these pending ETF approvals for the past couple of months that were actually supposed to get done in like October, mid-October, but because the government was shut down, none of these have been approved yet. So if you take a look at the list of these ETF filings, we have some for Litecoin, Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano, Polkadot, HBAR, Avalanche, and there's plenty that aren't listed here as well. So I do believe that sometime in November, probably later this month, as long as the government opens, a lot of these will be approved. So I believe that this will be a very important catalyst for the altcoin space and could start to bring hype back to the market. Because as we've seen, every single ETF that's been released so far has done incredibly well. There's so many people that have massive stock portfolios that want crypto exposure without having to transfer money off of their exchange. So I do believe that those people will start to get exposure once they can. And I also do believe that Wall Street will be interested in some of these coins, especially coins like Solana Solana and XRP that have massive market caps and insane potential. So we'll just have to see what ends up happening with this, guys, but this should be a very great catalyst for the altcoin space. All right, guys, and then the last but potentially most important catalyst is the fact that we will finally start to get some economic data again. So Jerome Powell in the last FOMC meeting decided to scare everybody by saying that the Fed's upcoming December meeting is not a foregone conclusion, far from it. So the reason he said this is because we haven't had any quantitative data coming out since the government shutdown started. This is because the government employees are actually the people that collect this data. So hopefully when the government shutdown finally ends, Jerome will be able to access this data yet again. And I do believe that this will give us the ammunition to cut rates once again in December, which would be very important for risk on assets like crypto. Because yeah, guys, at the moment, the FedWatch tool from CME Group is saying that we only have a 68% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut in December. So hopefully once the government opens up and we get some quantitative data in line with what we need in order to cut rates, this will increase, which will help clear up some of the uncertainty in the market. And overall, guys, I believe that that is another reason why stocks and crypto have struggled so much in the past couple of weeks, because this government shutdown has created so much unnecessary uncertainty for markets. And as we all know, markets hate uncertainty. And you can see that when you look at the crypto fear and greed index. We're currently sitting at a 26 out of 100, so we are well into fear. And in my opinion, guys, we just don't really have any reason to be this low into fear. I mean, it's not like we have, real tariff concerns anymore at this point. We aren't going into any significant wars, which have been past reasons for a lot of fear in the crypto market. And really the only thing that's creating this fear is uncertainty around the FOMC meeting in December and the government being shut down. So I think that we could potentially kill two birds with one stone if we could reopen the government, because I do believe that Jerome is planning on cutting rates in December, regardless of what he said, because I believe that it's much more important for him to attempt to save this economy from going into a recession than to, lower inflation by 0.5%. So yeah, guys, tomorrow could end up being a very bullish day, but expect volatility both up and down. It's always possible that initially we could get like a sell the news event where, the market sells off for a day or two. That is always in the cards, especially in crypto. But I do believe that this is very bullish for the short term and the medium term. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic night. And thank you again for all of the support. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. Peace.